Hey there, welcome to the video. Before we dive into this insane story, I've got a quick question for you. Have you ever been cheated on? Let me know in the comments. I'll be reading them all. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. I used to believe I was one of the lucky ones. At 38, I had a stable job in IT, a comfortable house in the suburbs, a garage full of tools I never had time to use, and a wife who kissed me goodbye every morning. Lena, 36, blonde, bright smile, part-time dental assistant. We had no kids, which, in hindsight, is a miracle, but we had 10 years of what I thought was a solid, if not perfect, marriage. We had our routines. Weekends at the farmer's market, Netflix marathons, lazy Sundays in bed. I genuinely thought we were doing okay. Nothing dramatic, nothing explosive, just real. I wasn't blind to her flaws. She could be moody, secretive with her phone sometimes, but I chalked it up to stress. We both worked. Life was busy. Who doesn't have bumps? Then one Thursday afternoon changed everything. I had the flu, nasty one. Fever, chills, the whole thing. My boss told me to go home before I infected the whole department. I texted Lena, no reply. Not weird, she often silenced her phone at work. So I drove home, shivering and congested, dreaming of crawling under the covers. I opened the door. There were noises upstairs. First, I thought maybe she was watching something in bed, but the noises weren't coming from the TV. They were rhythmic, human, and unmistakably intimate. I remember feeling like I had left my body. I climbed the stairs like a ghost, every step louder than the last. My hand reached for the bedroom door before I even knew what I was doing. I opened it. There she was, Lena, half naked and tangled in sheets with a man I'd never seen before. He turned toward me, eyes wide like a deer in headlights. Lena screamed. The guy grabbed his boxers and bolted down the stairs past me. I didn't move, didn't yell, didn't cry. I just stood there, staring at her, while she scrambled for a robe and started saying my name. And then I turned around and walked out. Not a word, just silence, because that moment was the instant my entire life cracked open. Over the next few days, Lena tried everything. Texts, calls, voicemails, crying, apologizing, then yelling, then gaslighting. It didn't mean anything, she said. It was just once, she said. I was lonely, she said. She didn't know I'd already started digging. And what I found made my stomach turn. It wasn't one guy. It wasn't even two. It was three. And one of them was her boss. They'd been meeting up for months. During lunch breaks. After late shifts. Sometimes even at our house when I was at work. I pieced it together through her emails, her chat logs, even her deleted messages. She didn't bother to cover her tracks because she never thought I'd look. Never thought I'd have to. When I confronted her, she pivoted from guilt to rage. Blamed me for being distant. Said our marriage had been dead for years and I was just too clueless to notice. Then, in a tone I will never forget, she said, "You weren't man enough to keep me interested." That's when I knew. We were done. I filed for divorce the next day. That's when the real war began. Lena lawyered up. Her attorney came after everything. My house, my savings, my car, my retirement. She painted herself as a victim. Said I was emotionally abusive. That I was controlling. That she had been trapped in a loveless marriage for years. None of it was true, but I learned quickly. The truth doesn't matter when lies are weaponized by someone who wants to destroy you. I had to fight tooth and nail just to keep what I'd worked for my entire adult life. She wanted to leave me, and she wanted to bankrupt me on her way out. And then, karma knocked on the door. Just when I thought I'd survived the worst of it, life reminded me how much lower things could go. I was sitting in my car outside the courthouse one morning, finalizing some documents with my lawyer. We were close. Just a few more hearings and I'd be legally free. I wasn't even angry anymore. I just wanted out. I wanted peace. I wanted to put Lena behind me. That's when my phone rang. Unknown number. I usually don't answer, but something told me to pick up. "Is this Mr. Blake Carter?" the voice said. Yes, I replied. This is Detective Morris with the County Police Department. I need you to come down to the station. Immediately. I froze. Is something wrong? I asked, trying to stay calm. We have some questions about a situation involving your wife. Please come now. I didn't know what to think. Was she hurt? Was this about the divorce? Fraud? I drove to the station with my heart pounding so hard I thought it might crack my ribs. When I got there, they took me straight into an interview room. 2 detectives. Cold eyes. No smiles. Where were you on the night of July 17th? One of them asked. That was 2 weeks ago. At home, I said, confused. Why? They exchanged looks. Did you, at any point, go to Dr. Colin Avery's house that night? I blinked. Who's that? He's your wife's employer. Suddenly, I felt the room shrink around me. Lena's boss. I said, no, I've never even met him. Another long silence. Then they dropped the bomb. He was attacked in his driveway that night, beaten, left unconscious, his car keyed. Surveillance footage shows someone who looks a lot like you in the area around the time it happened. My blood turned to ice. What? You think I did that? I laughed in disbelief. I didn't even know where the guy lived, but they weren't laughing. And Lena? She had given them a statement. She told police that I had threatened her, that I had grown violent after discovering the affair, that I had said, and I quote, "If I ever see that man, I'll put him in the ground." I had never said that, but now, thanks to her lies, I was being investigated for assault. 2 days later, they came for me. I was at work, mid-meeting, when 2 officers walked into the conference room. No warning, no quiet conversation outside, just handcuffs and a Miranda warning in front of my coworkers, my boss, everyone. I'll never forget the look on my manager's face, like he didn't know if I was a criminal or a ticking bomb. Blake Carter, you are under arrest for suspicion of felony assault. The ride in the back of the police car was surreal, like watching someone else's nightmare unfold, except I couldn't wake up. At the station, they processed me like I was a violent offender. Mugshot, fingerprints, stripped of my belt and shoelaces, thrown in a holding cell with a guy who smelled like gasoline and wouldn't stop humming to himself. I spent the night there. No phone calls, no lawyer, just silence, stale air, and the feeling that my life was slipping through my fingers faster than I could catch it. By the next morning, word had spread. My name was on a local news site. Local IT consultant arrested in assault investigation tied to alleged love triangle. I was a joke, a villain, a headline. I posted bail, but the damage was done. My boss put me on leave until further notice. Friends stopped calling. Even my own mother said, "Blake, just tell me you didn't do it." I didn't, but no one cared, except one person, my neighbor Cole. We weren't exactly close. He mostly kept to himself, but he'd always been polite. The day after I got out, he knocked on my door with something in his hand. "I think you're going to want to see this," he said. He handed me a USB stick. "I have cameras around my property. There's 2 by angle." I didn't check it until I saw the news. I plugged it into my laptop. My jaw hit the floor. The footage showed a black SUV pulling up to my driveway at 11:47 p.m. on July 17th. A woman stepped out. Lena. She walked up to my front door, took something from under the mat, my spare key, and went inside. I wasn't home. I was visiting my brother in another town. He had the texts to prove it. I'd even posted a photo from his living room that night. But Lena had used my key and stayed in the house for nearly 2 hours. Then, the next morning, Colin Avery, the man I supposedly assaulted, was found bloodied in his driveway. Suddenly, something became terrifyingly clear. Someone had used my house to establish a fake alibi for me. But the question wasn't just, who set me up? It was why. I took the footage straight to my lawyer. Within 24 hours, he filed a motion to have the charges dropped. Between the video, the time-stamped photos from my brother's house, and my GPS data, the prosecution had no case left. They folded. But by then, the damage was irreversible. I had lost clients, friends, my job, and worst of all, my sense of reality. I had to know why. Why would Lena not only cheat, lie, and betray, but then go so far as to set me up for a violent crime? What kind of person does that? The answer came from a place I least expected. One of Lena's former co-workers, let's call her Rachel, reached out anonymously on Facebook. She said she didn't want to get involved, but couldn't keep quiet anymore. Apparently, Lena had been in a relationship with her boss, Dr. Colin Avery, long before I caught her. She thought he'd leave his wife. He didn't. Worse, when the affair came to light at the dental clinic, he cut her off completely. Lena was furious, obsessive. She showed up at his house, his office. She left voicemails threatening to ruin his life. Rachel said Lena had even joked once about how easy it'd be to make someone look guilty if you just left the right breadcrumbs. Then it all clicked. She didn't set me up because she hated me. She did it because I was her alibi. Lena attacked Colin, out of rage, out of heartbreak, and then used my spare key to sneak into my home, making it look like I had the opportunity and motive. She played the victim, played the police, played the system, but she underestimated me. I had the video, the evidence, the truth, and I wasn't going to let her walk away. I gave everything I had to my attorney, every message, every photo, every second of footage. We filed a civil suit for defamation, malicious prosecution, and emotional distress. It was ugly. Her lawyer tried to settle out of court. I refused. We went to trial, and for the first time, Lena had to face the facts. Under oath, under cross-examination. The judge watched the footage, saw the timeline, heard how she had dragged my name through the mud to protect herself. The case made headlines again, but this time with a new headline. Man falsely accused in cheating scandal wins massive settlement against ex-wife. I won 6 figures in damages. More importantly, I got my name back. My job reinstated me. Friends who had ghosted me sent long apology messages, but I never replied. I didn't need their approval anymore. I had myself. Lena, she lost her job, her reputation. No one in our community would hire her. She had to move states. I hear she works at a diner now. And Colin? He never pressed charges against her. Maybe out of fear, maybe out of guilt, but he wanted nothing to do with her ever again. I should have felt empty at the end of all this, but honestly, I felt reborn. Sometimes the best revenge is simply surviving and letting the truth speak louder than their lies. Thanks so much for watching till the very end. If this story made you feel anything, smash that like button and consider subscribing to support the channel. There's a lot more drama coming your way. Stay safe out there and have a great day.